Council is expected to vote on that request next Tuesday. And today I'll also be speaking to residents who oppose this project. I'll tell you what they have to say this evening on KRIS 6 News. Mike.
Thank you, Ashley. That meeting will be held tonight at Fuddruckers, by the way. It's happening at 7 o'clock and everyone is invited to attend. Jury selection is beginning today in the trial of Norma De Leon. The former Corpus Christi police officer is accused of impersonating a CPS worker. In November of last year, De Leon reportedly asked 2 officers to meet her at an apartment on Carroll Lane for a welfare check on a child. She is said to have then passed herself off as a CPS worker so the father would allow her in. He later learned that De Leon was not a caseworker but was instead dating the child's uncle. And we want to take a quick break here, but when the news at noon continues, we will check in with Mac for a look at how the rest of the week is stacking up. Stay with us.
Six Weather is brought to you by Allen Samuels Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Aransas Pass. Come by. Let's be friends. Now, the most accurate forecast in South Texas with meteorologist Maclovio Perez.
Well, good noontime, everybody. People asking here at the mall, so when is this cold weather over? And I'm going, it's only been one day. Actually, now we're in the second day of it. But yes, it has been rather chilly. Now, this is the 42, which is where we are right now, but that doesn't feel so bad because we have virtually no wind. Yesterday, we had a 40-mile-an-hour wind. Of course, that takes away the heat from your body. It feels like, or the wind chill is only 38 right about now. We're getting a few little light sprinkles. It's very, very light. And earlier, we had the possibility of getting some sort of shower activity around the area, but it's just not moving. Get Tom to turn the computer on. Okay, thank you. We are looking at our map here, and you can see how my machine isn't moving along. So here we are. Temperatures 42 in Corpus Christi, 39 in San Antonio, 40 up in Dallas. But look at this. It's warmed up to 60 in Amarillo. Why is that? That's because the winds are now surging out of the desert southwest on up into that area. So we are definitely going to be looking at some sort of activity around here tonight. Now let's show you the next map, which will give you a very good indication of what I'm talking about. Here it is. Now, there's an area of low pressure spinning here. It's pumping up the moisture. We had a few little bands, but you see this stuff down south? This is actually moving up toward our area. And of course, the sleet possibility that we had a little while ago, that's gone as well. It's moved to the north because now the circulation is taking it in this fashion. What that is an area of low pressure streaming over there, and that's going to lift the atmosphere and produce the shower activity that we're expecting tonight. The good news is that I'm hoping that it changes by the time we move into tomorrow, and that it'll be gone by the evening hours. So right about now, we're looking at this storm here coming over us tonight and then moving in that direction for the next couple of days. Here is the southwest. There's the storm. You can see it right there. That is what's creating all of this activity. The front is long gone way out here. This second front is going to be there for a couple of days before it then pushes down, but that's not till about Monday, so we're not going to worry about that just yet. So let me show you the timeline as we go from here on Future Tracker. We're going to see the rain get a little bit stronger out to the west, and then it moves across South Texas, and it's going to enhance that rain opportunity for you and me. And then here is Thursday night. The good news is when it goes that way, we're going to get a north wind, and that's going to help dry us out. So I'm hoping that by Thursday night it's gone, and you'll have some nice cool weather for the Buccaneer parade, the Buccaneer game. And as we get into Friday and Saturday, we'll get drier air and actually a little better weather conditions. Here's a long range forecast. Let's go on this one, and let's go forward. We're going all the way to the East Coast. There's the storm, there's the weather maker, there's the rain that's going to be occurring all the way into the southeast. Then by the time we get to Monday, this is Sunday now, Sunday right here, Monday, this thing comes through here and gives us a quick shot at shower activity, and we'll be talking about that later on. So rain later tonight through tomorrow morning, then clearing up, then Friday better, we'll be in the low 60s over the weekend, and the weekend at least is something that we can salvage and enjoy. That's your 7-day forecast brought to you by Alan Samuels in Aransas Pass. Mike, back to you.
All right, thank you for that, Mac. We'll check in with him again in just a bit. Well, millions of Americans are facing record-breaking cold temperatures today. Some cities are seeing double-digit temperature drops just in the last 24 hours. NBC's Morgan Radford reports from a frosty Central Park in New York City.
Overnight, an Arctic blast for the record books. More than 200 million people from the Great Lakes down to the Deep South waking up to frigid temperatures this morning, with nearly 100 record lows broken overnight. In Chicago, below zero wind chills, with current temperatures feeling more like January than November.
January came too early. Fall's canceled.
Oh my God, it's unbelievably cold. I'm freezing.
In Texas, frozen sprinklers and icy plants. With some areas like McAllen seeing temperatures drop nearly 60 degrees in just 24 hours, as millions across the southeast remain under freeze watches. In the Midwest, folks now starting to dig out. Chardon, Ohio already seeing a foot of snow, with more expected later in the week.
This is definitely a surprise.
You can never predict out here, so all it takes is a cold front.
About an hour south, a 50-car pileup in Austintown closed part of the interstate, sending several people to the hospital. Other drivers getting stuck on the blanketed highways. Nationwide, the early winter weather blamed for at least 5 deaths. For those traveling today, there have already been more than 100 delays and several cancellations. Meantime, already 100 daily record lows have been set across the country, from the Midwest down to the Texas Gulf Coast. From New York City, I'm Morgan Radford, NBC News.
When we return, a fantastic gal looking for a home to match. We'll be treated to some time with our pet of the week right after this.
Chris 6 News at noon continues.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. It's Wednesday, which means it is Pet of the Week here at Chris 6 News, and we have a beautiful little girl today. And of course, we're here with Corpus Christi Animal Care Services' own Sarah Beth. Now, Sarah, tell us about this beautiful girl.
This is Holly. She's kind of hiding right now. I don't know why, but she's about 2 years old, and she's a Border Collie.
A Border Collie. And now I know, how long has she been here?
She's been there since the 4th, so not super, super long, but in my opinion, long enough for any animal that needs to be at a shelter, period.
And you were telling me earlier that she's about 2 years old. She's still fairly young.
Yeah.
And as you can see right now, she's kind of just hanging out. What's her personality like?
So she can be very hyper. She can want to play with lots of other dogs. She does like other dogs. But when it is time and it is cold outside like now, she really just wants to cuddle. She wants to love you, definitely loves kisses, and will beg you to rub her belly.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Is she ready to go today? If somebody sees her and they say, hey, Holly is my kind of gal,
so she still needs to be fixed, but hopefully that won't be too long of a process. Really go ahead and come on in, meet her, adopt her, and then she will get fixed and she will have her babies, and then she will be ready to go.
Awesome. Now, I know they're at the shelter. A lot of people that may have been there, may not have been there. You guys have a lot of outdoor kennels.
Yes.
And right now, as we know, it's very cold outside. Yes. How is that going on for you guys right now?
So, of course, you know, you think that the dogs are not going to be fans, but they really like to be out in the cold. However, when it is time, we will like to bring them inside. Just to give them some time in the warm, you know. Some of them really don't care. Some of them really just want to be outside. But of course, we put blankets in every single kennel for all the dogs. And so we're always looking for donations for blankets as well. And sweaters too, because we like to put sweaters on some of the dogs too. Some of them that will let us put sweaters on, we like to put them on them.
So cute.
Yeah, it's pretty cute.
So anybody right now that sees this, or any time while this cold weather is going on, if they can bring in extra blankets, sweaters, really anything to keep these dogs warm.
Yes, definitely.
Are there any other kind of donations that would help out these doggies? Because y'all are full right now.
Yes, we are. We are very full. You know, aside from blankets when it's cold, they love toys as well. Toys, treats, things like that. We're good on food because we do have a certain food that we feed them. However, toys, treats, blankets, bedding, anything like that would be greatly appreciated.
All right, guys. Well, you heard Sarah Beth. Make sure if y'all want to bring a new furry friend to your home, this is the place to do it. Go to Corpus Christi Animal Care Services over at 2626 Holly Road any afternoon of the week, 1 to 5:30 p.m., or you can call them at 826-4630, or even check them out on their website, www.petharbor.com. Of course, you can find any kind of pet you want, even one like our Pet of the Week, Holly. We'll have more news and weather right after the break.
Can we get a mic check from you to say your name and count to 5 for me?
Erica, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Got it? 1, 2, 3. Mic check, mic check, mic check. And be sure and count me down in 30-second increments if you can.
Chris 6 News at noon continues.
Welcome back. Tomorrow marks World Diabetes Day, and I'm joined now by Erica Gonzalez, a certified diabetes educator at Driscoll Children's Hospital. Welcome. We're glad that you're here.
Thank you for having me.
The health threat that diabetes poses, it's a big deal, isn't it?
Big deal.
Why is it? I mean, let's talk about that for a little bit, because I think a lot of people at home are going, why do you need a World Diabetes Day?
For some people, some signs and symptoms are very mild, and so they don't catch it. So untreated or undiagnosed can lead to very serious health complications, if not death.
Mm-hmm. And some folks are, I mean, this is type 1 means you're born with this, right? For most folks, it's type 2, though, that is really the battle that we have.
Yeah, there's different diagnoses of diabetes, and now there's even different types of your type 2, type 1s.
Okay.
So the endocrinologist, your diabetes doctors, run the lab tests to see if it's something that you were essentially born with, or antibodies, or if it's something that can be managed differently.
Okay. Let's talk about type 2. What's the best way to manage that, or what are some ways that I can manage that?
Sure. So with type 1, type 2, healthy lifestyle, just like with any other kind of long-term condition, is going to be your first line of defense. Medications. There are more medications other than insulin available for type 2 adults versus just the insulin.
Yeah.
I work at Driscoll Children's Hospital, so I deal with more of the type 1, type 2, pediatrics. Yeah. But we do medication, we do lifestyle, we do daily monitoring. It's a lot of work to manage diabetes.
It is, but it's important that we do that, though, to be as healthy as we need to be. There is an event happening tomorrow, World Diabetes Day, tomorrow evening at the USS Lexington. I understand you're inviting everybody to come out, right?
Yes.
Okay.
To spread awareness.
6 o'clock, and what's going to happen out there?
We're going to get a really good view of the Harbor Bridge turning blue, which is the designated color by the International Diabetes Federation to celebrate World Diabetes Day.
Okay. And again, this is for anybody. This is not just for Driscoll Children's Hospital patients or staff. Anybody, tomorrow night on the Lexington, they're inviting you to show up and be a part of that, again, in recognition of World Diabetes Day. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it. Wish you the best tomorrow night.
Thank you.
All right. Stick around. We're coming back with more right after this. One, two, three, four, five. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nah.
Chris 6 News at noon continues.
Well, it's cold, folks. It's still 42 degrees out there. The good news is we don't have any wind to make it feel worse. Out to the west, near Laredo, we have an area of low pressure that's moving toward us. And so I think that for the rest of the evening, the rain chances are going to increase and then sort of be wet overnight into tomorrow morning. With a little luck, we'll get it out of here in the afternoon, and then for the football game tomorrow night, we should have better weather, at least not raining weather. Then by Friday, we do actually see the sun, and we'll moderate the temperature up to about 64 for the weekend. So I think the weekend's going to work out very well, because there you see on the 7-day forecast, on Tuesday night of next week, we have another strong storm coming down. So it's definitely that time of the year where the storms are moving. It's also the definitely time that it's the holidays, because it's time to get going with the Toys for Tots. Yes, for 70 years now, the U.S. Marine Corps has been collecting toys and distributing them right here in the Coastal Bend, and we're going to be doing everything we can to support them. So when you come to the mall, see a box, drop off a toy, it's the holidays. Thanks for joining us. Back to you, Mike.
All right, here's a quick recap of some of the stories you've seen here in our first half hour. Residents in the London ISD are speaking out against developers who are hoping to bring several affordable housing projects to that area. The trial begins for a former Corpus Christi police officer accused of impersonating a CPS worker, and warming centers are open across the county to help the community stay warm during our cold weather. Well, stick around. We do have another half hour of news and weather coming up right after a quick break. We're back after this.
Manny, are you going to turn off me and pan or zoom in or anything? Yeah. Mic check, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1300 block of Agnes. Traffic stop, 1300 block of Laredo Street. Man took off on foot. Was seen going in one of these shops at the end of this building. We have some breaking. Who's calling me? Hello?
Now, Mike Gillespie from the Chris Communications Downtown Studio and meteorologist Maclovia Perez live at La Palmera Mall. This is Chris 6 News at noon.
Welcome back. We do have breaking news coming from the 1300 block of Agnes near the Crosstown, where there has apparently been an incident involving a police officer. We've sent Catherine McGinty over there. She joins us now live. And Catherine, tell us what it is that you know.
Yeah, Mike, what we know right now is that an officer conducted a traffic stop nearby at the 1300 block of Laredo Street. Officers learned that the individuals had warrants, and when police went to arrest A struggle ensued, and one of those men fled on foot. He was seen going into one of these shops located at the very edge of this building. Police were able to isolate him inside the building. At that time, an officer went up a ladder and fell through sheetrock. Now, he fell about 10 feet. He was taken to a local hospital. He was conscious and communicating, and he was taken away on a stretcher. Now, officers were able to use a pepper ball gun to gain the suspect's compliance, and police say he was taken into custody. Like I said, that police officer is being looked at a local hospital. Mike.
All right, Catherine, thank you. We'll have more coming up later today here